Let's put that and other questions now to the Conservative MP for Lichfield, Michael Fabricant, who's been supportive of the Prime Minister in the past. Thanks very much indeed for joining. Well, can I just ask you that first of all? Should we know, for example, if the Prime Minister himself is fined by the police, should we be told that?
I think people would expect to know that, yes, and we'll see whether or not that is going to happen. But my own view is I think there's got to be a degree of openness on this.
And do you think there has been openness? Has there been openness from the Prime Minister? Because initially, of course, he was denying that there'd been any sort of gatherings that went against the rules and the guidance.
Well, yeah, Ben, I think the problem is trying to define when is a party, when just quiet drinks after work or in between work at the end of a sort of normal working day. Is that a party or not? I mean, I think that's been a lot of the confusion. The other area of confusion is I suspect the Prime Minister didn't think that at any time he was breaking the law. Now, why do I say that? I mean, these were people who had been working together in a work bubble anyway, so there was no risk of spreading the disease. He might well have thought...
Well, the Prime Minister's wife, was she part of the work bubble? And the wallpaper designer, Lulu Little, was she part of the work bubble?
Well, they're all part of the same bubble, aren't they? Because, you know, as the Prime Minister said yesterday, there are some 400 workers in the Downing Street complex, and it's a whole maze of offices. And we know that, don't we? Because we know the way that COVID did spread so rapidly when Boris Johnson himself caught the disease. And the flat is also very much part of the office space with people going up and down there constantly. So I suspect, but it's speculation, that was going through his mind.
But I mean, people listening to you, including no doubt some of your own constituents who are furious about this, will say you are just making excuses. And when you say, actually, these weren't parties, well, why were suitcases sent out to stock up on alcohol? Why was ABBA music being played loudly?
Yeah, no, people are furious, and I absolutely understand that. I mean, I was locked down in Lichfield. You know, most of us stuck to the rules as they were. But then I wasn't working in number 10 Downing Street. And I always like to see two points of view. I mean, it's very rarely that someone is completely in the wrong and someone else is completely in the right. And of course, that is precisely what the Metropolitan Police are looking at. As far as those suitcases are concerned, I've been doing some fishing around myself. And as I understand it, this was a pretty regular thing before COVID, both with David Cameron, with Theresa May, and the present Prime Minister on a Friday when the boss, the Prime Minister, would be away in Chequers, some 40 miles away, or in the constituency. I'm also told, it may not be right, but I've also been told by Labour MP friends of mine that this used to happen as well in the days of Blair and Brown.
Well, you mentioned Theresa May. And you were in the Commons yesterday to hear what she said, which was either Boris Johnson had not read the rules, or he didn't understand what they meant, or he didn't think they applied to him. Which was it?
Well, I certainly don't think he thought these don't apply to me because I'm Prime Minister and I can set laws for others while not obeying them myself. I don't think that's what he thought. I think, as I said earlier on, what he might well have thought is that because it was a work bubble, therefore he was operating within the law. Now,
but lots of people up and down the country were at work. They didn't have gatherings of 30-odd people with wine and cheese because they were in the middle of a pandemic. They've been told you couldn't do that.
Yeah, but a lot of people were told not to turn up to work. That's why I was staying in Lichfield and did my work via Zoom. You know, but they were key workers. So look, I'm not making excuses for
Well, it sounds like you are, to be honest.
No, what I'm trying to do, Ben, is try and explain what might have been going through the Prime Minister's mind, which is always a complicated thing to do at any time.
Can I ask you, again, in the Commons yesterday, the Prime Minister tried to turn the attack on Keir Starmer by saying that he had failed to prosecute Jimmy Savile when he was Director of Public Prosecutions. That is not true. So why did the Prime Minister raise something that is absolutely not true?
I thought Keir Starmer was Director of Public Prosecution at that time.
Yes, but people around him said that that was not his decision at the time. It was much lower down the chain.
Well, you know, it's like saying, all right, that case, why blame Boris Johnson if he was 40 miles away for a party or not party or drinks or not drinks that may or may not have been going on when he wasn't even there. You can't have it both ways, Ben.
OK, Michael Fabricant, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.